Hey friends, it's me, the Ebony Otaku, the well-rounded nerd. What's in the box? 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 Happiness. Happiness is what's in the box. So as you know, being a well-rounded nerd comes with its, what's the word? I don't think it's a pitfall. But when you have a lot of hobbies, it's very easy to just expand within your hobbies very, very quickly. If you hear extra voices, the son just got home from work, so he loud. What can I say? um, but yeah, so I play Aeronautica. I love Aeronautica. I think it's a lot of fun. Hey friends, if y'all are watching, Aeronautica crew. I'm still learning all of the maneuvers that you can make with your plane. So if you've not played Aeronautica Imperialis, it's a dogfight game. So different kinds of planes from different species. So there's the humans, which would be the Space Marine planes. I think you can also play Imperial Guard flyers as well. My husband does the orcs and the grot, so he mostly does DACA jets for his and like the bombers and that kind of thing. You can do any Space Marine Legion, but you can also play as Xenos. So of course the orcs and grots would be Xenos. I play as the fancy Xenos, which would be the Necrons and the Eldar. And as far as I know, with the way Aeronautica works, you can basically bring any species that's in the Warhammer 30k, 40k realm. I think it's mostly 30k because of when this came out, but any of those flyers that fit within the parameters of the game, they can all fight against each other. So it's not necessarily a loyalist versus traitor or Xenos versus human. It's this set of planes versus this set of planes. And it allows you within the confines of the game to develop different modes of play. So you're dogfighting, and dogfight is like an aerial fight, and there's like a grid map laid out, and there's certain moves that you can make. So you predetermine how you want your planes to move, and then you roll to see who gets to go first. And sometimes there's an advantage to be the person that moves first, and sometimes there's an advantage to letting the other person move, and you're flying your planes around and trying to basically take the other one out. Sometimes it's mission based. The last time we played, it was a mission, so it was Xenos versus no, it wasn't Xenos. It was most powerful versus least powerful. So the thing is with the Necrons and the Eldar, they are way overpowered compared to the other ships. So we were trying to defend a base, and they were trying to get to it, and if they were able to land on that base, then they won. But if we were able to keep them away in, like, I think 6 or 8 turns, something like that, then we won. And you could do stuff like dropping off fighters. You can do a capture the flag kind of thing. Like, there's so many options. Xenos ended up taking the day because we were so overpowered. Our competitors, so it was 2 and 2, as my husband and another gentleman together, and then myself and another gentleman who mostly does Eldar. So it was Xenos and the Eldar versus the Space Marines and the orcs. And we had 5 flyers between us. I had 2 because I was rolling Necrons, and the Eldar had 3, so that's 5. But they had like 15 planes to our 5. Like, that's the imbalance of power. So when me and my husband play at home, because he doesn't do Necrons or Eldar, I usually kick his butt every single time. But when we go to the shop and play, it's a little more balanced because more people have, more things to play with. And it's really cool because now that we're both really into building and painting, our goal is kind of to get to a place where any of the games we like to play, as we get our game room set up and stuff, that we can look on the shelf and, okay, oh, we're going to go out and play Kill Team today? Cool, let's grab the Kill Team. Or we're going to go do Blood Bowl. Let's grab the Blood Bowl. And it's an Aeronautica night, so let's grab the Aeronautica. Because I used to always wonder, like, why is everybody bringing all these cases of figures? Well, you might set up to play Aeronautica, which is what we're talking about today, but you might show up in, like, only 3 people, and then there's not really a way to do it, but everybody brought other figures, so hey, we're OPRing tonight. We're going to do 1-page rules. And then if somebody new is there, and you've got 1 or 2 sets of figures, you can loan them out so other people can get in, because that's how we got into the game. People loaned us figures to play with so it matters who you do the game with. You've got to find people to game with who are cool people. How do you find cool people? That is a great question. We got lucky. But just keep searching until you find good folks. Anywho, back to what we're talking about, because I could talk about the game all day. I'm not at the point of giving instructions. I said all that to say it's because it's a dogfight game, you need instructions on what all of the maneuvers are, but everyone had like the book, the companion book that went with who they were playing. I did not, because they don't make Aeronautica anymore. If anything hurts me, it hurts me that if you come into a game too late with Games Workshop, you may or may not be able to get a hold of everything you need. I mean, that's why STLs exist. We could not find any more of the mini Necron ships for Aeronautica. We looked on eBay, everywhere else, could not find them. We ended up having to print them. Let me just be real, we had to STL those. We were gonna buy them, but we couldn't find them. My husband was able to find the Eldar ships brand new. So I have a set of each of the Eldar flyers that work for Aeronautica, and I'm working on painting those right now. We got those brand new in the box. So I was very happy. Like, I'm one of those people that I want to buy the thing, obviously, if I can have the original thing. But if the original thing doesn't exist, I have no choice but to STL it. And what I've been doing for playing the game is I have a sheet of paper that somebody copied out of one of the companion books that has all the moves on it, and then the point values for my ships. But then if we end up doing something special that's later on in the book, I didn't have it. So we have been searching high and low for ages to get me the book. Guess what I've got? Let's open the box. I already kind of opened this. So it's not brand new to me. I was like, oh, stop, video. But, are we ready? Are you ready? She's like this all the time. I'm sorry. But yeah, I've got the Aeronautica Imperialis companion. And this is the one that has all the rules for my... So these are the ships that I fly right here. We were at the Warhammer store today. I'm about to film another Warhammer video. So yes, I'll be the same in 2 straight Warhammer videos. We bought... I got a novel. It's at the time I'm filming this, my life is a little weird. If you follow the channel, you know why. I won't get into it here. But my husband just decided to treat me to a little Warhammering. So we actually went by the Games Workshop store. And Lord, they had the big one. I was like, it's called a Doom Scythe. What a name, right? I just love the way they name stuff in Warhammer. Like, I just, chef's kiss. But yeah, so there's a giant Doom Scythe that made it under the tree for Christmas for me this year. And there was an Adeptus Sororitas box that I went, hey dear, that would make a great Christmas present. What can I say? It matters who you marry. But check this out. So we have the Doom Scythe and the Night Shroud Squadron. So I fly Doom Scythes. I don't have any Night Shrouds. I don't know if I'll ever be able to find them without STLing. We're looking. Games Workshop, I'm trying. Games Workshop, if you will make it, I will buy it. We will all will. Just help me. But I'm so happy now. So I've got the complete rules of the gameplay here, because right now I'm working off of memory and people helping me. I would like to be able to, you know, read up on it on my own time. So now it tells me how to set up campaigns, experience levels and all that kind of stuff. So going forward, I'm flipping here we go. So now I've got all the rules for the Necrons, all the little nuances of playing with this kind of flyer. So I've got my structure. So you've got a hull strength, which is your structure, and I've got the highest hull strength on these Doom Scythes. So it takes more to take one of my ships down, and then I've got 2 guns that are built in, one for close range, one for long range, and if I'm in close range, I can roll both of them. And it's a lot of dice for those, and the chances of hitting are much higher, so that's why they're overpowered. But now I can read everything I need to really understand how to make best use of those ships. So I've got upgrades that I can do. If I have different kinds of engines, there is a phase shift I'm allowed to do. Like they've got the Necrons and the Eldar have a very special move that I'm not going to give the name of. We're going to call it teleporting. And if you know, you know, because it rhymes with ink. And if I say the word, somebody's going to think I'm saying a bad word, and I'm not going to do that to myself today. But they have the ability that after they've moved, when it gets to the attack phase, to move one space. Yeah, it's really cool. The only thing I'm missing now is you see this. This is actually the battle cards for your planes. Everyone has them but me. And that's like, so, because your gameplay board can get really crowded with all the stuff if you've played any type of tabletop game. Like there's dice for counters, there's, you know, the dice you're using to roll, there's your figures, vehicles, terrain, a lot's out there. So you can use these cards in place of dice counters and kind of set them to the side and pull out as many flyers as you're using. And as your turns tick down, or as your hull damage racks up, you can use a dice on top of this instead of putting it on the game board, and it saves space, makes things look a whole lot cleaner. So I hope I can find it. And there's also, okay, there's always something else, but a lot of the guys, because they started playing 20 years ago, so there's just some stuff I have to accept I'm not going to get. But eBay exists, so there's some wife out there somewhere putting a bucket of her husband's stuff in a yard sale. It's not me, but for that wife, thank you, because I'm gonna buy it. So, but they even have these itty bitty little turn counters. Like, yeah, I know, jealousy's real. I envy. Yeah, I know it's a sin. Don't care. And here's the Night Shrouds. The Night Shrouds are pretty cool. Those are the cards for the Night Shrouds. I wouldn't be concerned about getting these unless I ever played them, but I can't find them. And I've already got, what, 7 Necron ships, so I don't really need more. Those 7 ships are worth like 30 DACA jets. Yeah, it's quite a thing. But now that I've got all of this, I can read up more on how my planes work, and I can have this with me whenever you go to a gaming event. It helps to have the books, and I'm learning how to play 30K, and I'll soon be learning how to play the little ones, the 30K Imperialis. Every game's got its little nuances. Having the book helps. Now, granted, I do love apps like, what is it, Battlescribe, because in Battlescribe you can put your army in. It's an app. I think you can get it. I know you can get it out of the Google Play Store. I don't know if it's on Apple. I'm going to assume it is, because usually it's like for like. I have both. I'm not pro Android or Apple. My work stuff is Apple. My personal stuff is Android. I don't care. It's the same thing. Pick your poison. But yeah, Battlescribe lets you basically put in your army for the type of game that you're playing, and then gives you all the rules for what you're doing in that game. So that's a really good option. And you know, I've got a tablet, so I think I'm going to put Battlescribe on my tablet for when I'm doing like 1-page rules or 30K, because some of the books are really big. This one's little. It's light. It's easy to take around with me. And the other thing that came with it, and oh my goodness, I needed this so much. These are those moves I was telling you about. So this is how these hexagons, are these hexagons? It's 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. That's a hexagon, right? I forget. English major. Just don't come for me. Just whatevs. But your map that you play on, everybody has like their own maps, and I'm thinking I might have one created, because my husband created one that's kind of a map of the area that we live in, so like we can literally like fly over our favorite game store and stuff. I think I might make one of my own and get it printed up. But you roll these out on the game table, and then you start on opposite edges, and you use this as your guide for how your moves work. And this is what I'm still learning right now is, you know, you got to make sure. So like, let's use the simple one, the level flight here. That means that if my guy is pointing straight ahead, he can fly straight. When he stops, he can go that way, or that way. Or he could turn first and then keep going that way. But if you end up turning, so say my guy turns to the right, well, now if I try to do this move, I have to remember that now he's starting from that direction. And then, so I'm getting the hang of it. They've been doing it for years. You know, but they are all so kind in helping me learn. So now I've got this as a reference, which that's really good to have. Brand new, and the person we bought this from, I don't know who you are, but thank you for eBaying it. But we also, my husband has this. It came with, in this package, the Wings of Vengeance rulebook. So it's just another way to play the game, which I'm super happy about. But this one has Imperial Navy, Orc, and the DACA jets in it. So this is more handy for my husband because this is what he plays. So this is going to go in our book collection. It's got the basics of the game, how the turns work, the firing phases, and all of that in it. And oh, here's a good picture. I hadn't looked at this book yet at all because I was so excited that mine came in. But yeah, here's what I mean by a map. So you literally will roll out a big placemat, basically, a big game mat. If you play Magic the Gathering, D&D, or anything like that, where you roll dice or have to pick up cards, you usually play it on some kind of game mat to make it easier to pick stuff up. I have 2 game mats that are mine. I have one that's a big Sailor Moon mat, and I love it. Actually, my stepson got that for me as just a random gift like a year ago when I first moved in. Because he wanted me to play Magic the Gathering, and we do play it. And then I ended up, one day when we were just out nerd shopping, found a Power from Chainsaw Man on a mat. And I was like, I love Power. I think she's great. I cannot wait for the next season. She's just my favorite. And Dingy is so pure. Dingy just wants his own. I respect it, Dingy. I respect it. Dingy loyal. we like a loyal idiot over here. But yeah, so you roll the mat out. So I'm trying to think, like, what would I want my mat to be? I'm thinking Middle Earth, honestly, because I love the Tolkien universe quite a bit. So I'm thinking I might get like a Middle Earth map and have it done in one of these, because there's a place where you can send in the pictures and stuff, and they'll print it for you. But see, like, my husband has all of the cards for his planes. I don't have the cards. I'm not jealous. Much. And then the last thing that's in here is the Ren War. My husband has this. I do not, so this will be my copy of Ren War. Again, it's another version of the game. And that is one of such good things about these games. There are rules for how the game's played, but I like that Games Workshop and the other creators of these miniature tabletop games give you the freedom to, like, craft a story. So, like, people who play, like, the 30K stuff tend to be more into the lore of Warhammer, which I get it. Like, it's, if you are into the Horus Heresy, like the actual, like, book series, like, 30K is for you. Imperialis is for you, and I would even say that, like, you probably enjoy OPR. You might even like this if you can figure out the dogfighting aspect. And the 40Kers tend to be more into the game, which is fine. Both of us are into the miniatures. You'll find, I think, that the 30K players tend to be crafting their armies with stories. Like, I'm building stories and, like, naming my characters, and like we've named my my Emperor's Children because they are pink. They look good, though. They look good. I'm real proud of that paint job. I'm not even gonna lie. They turned out so good. I cannot wait to do the salamanders. But their name are the Pink Party Boys. They're gonna be called the Pink Party Boys, and I think my Imperialis box, because those figures are this big. You put like 4 of them on a little stand. We're gonna do those as miniature Emperor's Children, and we're gonna call them the Party Favors. I know, right? It's great. But I need a Fulgrim. I need a Fulgrim in the worst way. Actually, I don't even want a Fulgrim. I want an Angel Exterminata, so he's trying to find me an STL, because that does not exist for some reason. At least we haven't been able to find it. If you got a link to an Angel an Angel Exterminatas, hit a girl up. But yeah, so in here we have Air War in the 41st Millennium, so there's a little bit of lore in here, which I love. And then all of the movements and the firing phases and the end phase, so it goes way more in depth. So you'll find that you might need, for these different games, more than one book. That's okay. When we went to our first 30K event, which I really can't wait to do my next one, I probably can't do it until my life settles back down, but ready to go out and, like, know more and really be able to get the game going and be real into it. Because when we did our first event, they made a story out of what we were doing. It was so great. We were, one side was defending, one side was attacking, and we were trying to disable all the doors. It was basically one Praetorian against another. Whoever's Praetorian got taken out, that was the side that won. But the other Praetorian survived like 7 turns, then they automatically won. Like it was really cool. I really appreciate Chris. Good. It's a good story. I can't wait to do another one. Probably still going to be at the beginner's table for a few months because there's a lot of rules. But don't let the rules intimidate you. Get on eBay, find you the book, download you some Battlescribe, and then, you know, just find people to do the game with who are cool. Like I think that's what made me have more excitement for actually getting back into the game, was finding people to do the game with who are actually just cool people, who want to help others get good at the games and have fun. I will tell you that our hobby shop, I think, for the most part, has a really good vibe to it. There's a couple of shops in town that specialize more in the card sides of things. So, like, they're Magic the Gathering folks, you know, the Pokemon and all that kind of stuff. They're there for card people. Our shop kind of hits a lot of levels. Like, they're for painters. They've probably got the best standing tabletop game set up in town, I will say that. They have a lot of good scenery that you can use for free. They've got some cool specialty rooms built, where you can have like private events and stuff. So find cool people to play with. I would say if you don't know who, try Meetup. It's an app. But it's just for people who want to meet up and do stuff. It's not a dating app at all. Like, if you find a date, great, but that's not its purpose. Its primary purpose is just for people who like to do a certain collection of things. Like, when I lived in Nashville, I was part of a foodie group. Granted, one of my best friends runs that foodie group, so I never actually had to sign up through Meetup. She would just text me and be like, hey, you want to go? And I'd be like, hey, yeah. You know, I'm +1. Like, if +1 was coming, then everybody knew I was going. And then it would be +2 because then my husband started coming when we were dating, and he'd drive up to see me. But yeah, just get on Meetup. Because when I lived in Nashville, there was a group for D&D. There was a couple of groups for Warhammer. There was a Magic the Gathering group. So I think there was a Battletech group as well. So you can find them and just, you know, just gauge the room. I know nerd culture can be. I mean, look, nerds, don't chase people off. Look, I know we all get so excited about the stuff that we love, and we want everyone to love it the way that we love it and interact with it the way that we interact with it. But that is not how life works. When people are new to something and they're learning it, just let it go. Let it go. Because we want more people to play, because the more people who are interested in playing and the more people who are interested in the property, the more cool stuff that we get to engage with and collect, and the more cool people we get to meet, right? Right, yeah. So we're done there. But yeah, I've got all 3 of these. So these are going to go in my shoulder bag. So I've got a really good... Okay, good. My address wasn't on that side. That's what I was looking at. That was the address of where it came from, not where I live. But... my bag that has like all my 30K rule books in it, it's kind of heavy. It's a really nice bag. I might end up having to get another one because got more books. And there's always going to be more. But when we build our game room in this room that I'm pointing at that you can't see, and you'll get to see the game room next year when we get that set up and done. There'll probably be a shelf in there for all of our rule books so that we can just pull off the ones that we want from when we're playing. But yeah, y'all are in real time watching the process of someone getting in to the games, and it is a lot. But also remember, she's grown and has grown people money. And I'm in a family where we're all kind of dorky, so everybody doesn't have the optimal situation like I do. But you can start small. Start small. Okay, it's okay to start small. Start small, enjoy, pick one thing. Kill team. Kill team is real easy to get into. Get you a kill team, get you a beginner's box of paints and stuff, and you're there. And then, of course, find cool people to play the game with. So my next thing I'm going to be looking for Aeronautica, while I finish my planes, I think this afternoon I'm going to do a lot of painting and see if I can't finish some of those Eldars. Me and my husband are so different. It's so funny because he has 14 projects going at once. I have as many projects to do, but I don't open something until I'm ready to paint it. He opens 30 things at once. So part of what we're doing this afternoon is organizing his office, because that's where we paint. So I'll probably show y'all a snippet of that once we get it organized, and just give you a picture of like where we paint and how I keep stuff organized, not how he does. Don't organize like him, because he don't. That's what wives are for. Okay, well, now I'm rambling, so that means I need to stop. So, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.